best car, SUV, or truck, guess what? You're in luck. Frontier Motors is down the street. Got the best deals that can't be beat. Don't overpay, come in today. Doing business the old-fashioned way. Frontier, we've got the right price. Frontier, we'll treat you mighty nice. Frontier Motors, low overhead country.
Yes, indeed, and we are pleased to tell you we have the owners of that fine establishment here in the studio with us, ready, willing, and more than able to take any inquiry from you concerning the price of a car or a truck or an SUV that you're thinking of buying or selling or trading in. Give us a call, 476-1007, 476-1007. If you're out of the calling area, make it 888-476-1007, toll free. Let me introduce to you people who probably need no introduction, Ivan Streckel and Ron Schneider.
Wow. Yeah, we're getting that popular now, huh?
Yeah, it could be.
Here we are at WCOA Radio. This is Talk Radio, 100.7, and on their AM side, 1370. And we are also on TV. And I guess we bring a little of both because the radio has been very, very good to us. The television, of course, everybody wants to see who's talking on the radio, so you get a little bit of that voice. I had a gentleman from Fort Walton Beach. He says, yeah, he says, I can listen to you on that new 100.7. And he says, but I love to see you guys on TV because I always got to see if things are changing. I says, we're getting grayer. Might get a little heavier on one side over here. I haven't staying in good shape. But here we are at Frontier Motors. And Frontier Motors Show is all about...
It's all about values, and if you want a value on your car, you can join us. If you're watching this on TV, don't bother calling in right now because it's a pre-recorded show. But if you're listening to this on AM or FM radio, dial 476-1007. If you're outside of the Pensacola area, put an 888 in front of that, so it'll be 888-476-1007. And I've got with us a couple of guidebooks that you can't get on the internet. I've got the internet in front of me, and usually if you want to get a value on a car, you would Google the Edmunds or the Kelly Blue Book or a consumer's version of the NADA. And we bring with us the books that you can't get, and these are what we call little secret books that the car dealerships don't like to show you. They're called the black books, and the black books are the books that tells you what's going on at the auction. And I'm just going to open this to one page, and here it is, a 2010 GMC light-duty SL extended cab pickup truck. It says they're going through the auction at $16,500. So that gives me an idea of what I can buy one for at the auction. So if you've got that truck and you're thinking of selling it, if the NADA book is $22,000, I can tell you that NADA book's a little high. And so the NADA books is the books that the banks and credit unions and our insurance companies, or like I should say most of our insurance companies use, to value the vehicles as far as how much they'll borrow on it. And sometimes this NADA book is a little bit higher than what it should be, and that's why we will share these books with you. So you can call us, again, by dialing 888-476-1007, and I can help you out with not so much the book value, but what an actual value would be.
It's kind of like those commercials where you see things on the internet, don't believe them. Sometimes what you see in books, don't believe them. So that's why we're here. I think we got a call, Don.
We do. This is Lee calling from Gulf Shores.
Lee, how can we help you?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm looking at a 2003 Dodge Ram two-wheel drive. It's the 1500 model, I think is what it's called. However, the clutch is completely burnt out on this vehicle. As best I can tell, that's the only real problem with the vehicle. I'm pretty mechanically inclined and can take care of that myself. It has 100,000 miles on it. The body's in good shape. The engine is in good shape. What kind of value am I looking at, paying for something like that from an individual?
Lee, let me ask you if it's a regular cab or if it's a quad cab.
Oh, it is a quad cab.
Okay, and it's an SLT model or a Laramie?
SLT.
And it's a two-wheel drive?
Yes.
Okay, and you said it has a little bit over 100,000 miles?
Yeah, like 101,000 miles on it.
And it's a standard shift.
It is.
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't see too many of those.
I actually bid on one the other day. I bid on an 04 the other day with 60,000 miles on it. And the guy that my buyer thought I was never going to do a bid. I said, somebody will buy it. Somebody will buy that stick shift.
Yeah.
Right? And is it a 6-cylinder or an 8? It's an 8-cylinder?
8-cylinder.
Okay. And all right, well, here we go. I got it right here. The deduct on the stick shift's only about $400. It's not bad. I'm going to give you the first figure is going to be the lower figure, which is $5,600. That's loan value. Loan value is supposed to be what wholesale would be, and retail is $8,800. Now, nobody wants to pay full retail. I would say that, you're going to have to figure out how much it costs for the clutch, so that's a whole separate issue. But I would say that if you can get this vehicle anywhere for the 65 to 7 range, less the reconditioning, that would be a pretty good price. That's way under the retail price. What are they asking for? Do you know?
He hasn't yet. This is one of those things I found in somebody's yard and just began talking to him about. And he said, he said for me to do a little homework, see what I thought it was worth, and make him an offer.
Yeah, and again, I'm thinking that wholesale is going to be around $5,500 wholesale.
Less the repairs.
Less the repairs, like if it needs tires.
45 probably.
So you got to figure out. Let him figure out, because if he can do it himself, maybe fix the clutch for $200 or $300 instead of $1,000. But I would say if a wholesale value would be $5,500, and a pretty good. If you can't get it wholesale, $6,500 or $7,000 would still be a good deal, because it is a 4-door truck, and to buy a 4-door truck, even though it's a stick shift, for that kind of dollars is not that easy to do. So I think you'd be okay at somewhere between 55 and 65, less reconditioning.
Okay, fair enough. I appreciate y'all's help.
All right, good luck. Thanks for calling the show.
And that's how easy it is. 476-1007. Join us on the show. Don has all the buttons. And for instance, if Lee is trying to buy it and make money, that's kind of like what we do. We buy it, and the things that you listened to Ivan is less reconditioning. So if he wanted to invest $6,500 in this truck, and he said, I want to take out $500 for that new clutch, I have 6 in it, he might be able to sell it for $69 and make $900 or $7,900, because there is no 4 doors out there. So even if you want to do that, that's what the show's all about. We talk about values, we talk about what's going on in the market, and Ivan and I got our thumbs on it, and because of the systems now, it makes it a little bit easier to do this radio show and TV show.
Yeah, and one thing that happened yesterday, Ron, I was doing appraisal sight unseen, and a customer called in from Mississippi, and they had a 2003 Murano with 170,000 miles.
Ooh,
a
that's
pretty
tough.
hard vehicle to appraise. Now, he says it was on a scale of 1 to 10, it was about an 8 all the way around. But the one question that my salesman couldn't answer, which the book never asked, is what color is it?
Aha.
And he didn't know the color. I says, don't you ever listen to our show? He says, no, I'm always working. I said, well, maybe you should listen to a pre-recorded show, because the books never asked you what color. I said, what if it was pink and had a tan leather interior?
What if it had that basketball interior?
Yeah.
Remember those Muranos? We couldn't sell those.
If it was a Mary Kay car, that's not the easiest vehicle to sell, when it's still pink,
If you're not in Mary Kay.
Now, let's take another call.
This is Skip from Pensacola.
Hey, Skip, how can we help you?
Hey, I've got a 2006 Honda Hybrid Civic that I am trying to get a value on as far as trade in, get rid of it. Kind of, what do you guys think on something like that? It's got
They're good.
182,000 miles.
How many miles? I'm sorry?
182.
Oh, my goodness.
Has the battery been replaced in it?
Never been replaced. I
Wow,
bought
that's
it
good
brand
news.
new.
That's good. Actually, that's good news for the people out there listening for these hybrids. Some of them have the fear that every time he turns to 100,000 miles, they got to have that. And my daughter used to drive one of these and got tremendous fuel mileage. And I think hers only had about 60,000 miles. But
I'll tell you, though, Skip, the books really sucks on this thing. I mean, I'm telling you, it's awful.
I don't think you say that. We're on TV and radio.
I'm sorry. The book is really bad on this thing. Now, the first book I pulled up was the Black Wholesale Guidebook. This is what they're going for the auction. And it says that average wholesale is $3,100 and rough wholesale is $2,200. Let's go ahead and use the NADA book, though, so
it should be 59 probably
let's see
retail.
here. It might be,
Okay.
the biggest issue that you're going to have, while I'm looking this up for you, the biggest issue they have is that the next person is going to assume that because the battery pack hasn't been replaced yet, that it's going to need to be done, and they don't know when it needs to be done. I mean, it could go another 100,000 miles, and yet it might go out next week. And from my understanding, the battery pack is in that 2,000 to 3,000 range. Have you figured out how much a new battery pack is, Skip?
It's 4,000, about 4,100 is what the battery pack is for it.
So if the car's worth $4 and the battery pack's $4, pretty much you're going to have to give it away. But that was just a joke. $4,900 is loan value, and retail is $8,000. So it still has a pretty, from a retail perspective, if somebody calls a bank, even with 180,000 miles on it, the odometer mileage deduct is only $2,000. But with the deduct, it's got a loan value of $49,900 and $8,000. Now that I think is way high. I think reality is let's say you decide to put this car on Craigslist and just say I'm going to sell it. If you can get $5,000 for this vehicle, I think you're doing pretty darn good, because again, you've got that question mark on how much longer is it going to go. And now we're only talking about the battery. You've got other issues also. You got motors, and you got all kinds of rubber things on that car that have to be replaced and stuff. But I would say my guesstimate, this is a hard one to price, Skip, but I would say that if you can retail it for $5,000, you're never going to get that from a dealer. A dealer's going to be too scared of it. A dealer might give you $2,500 for it, maybe $3,000. But that's just an opinion.
I took it to two dealers, and they both wanted to give me $1,700 for it.
Yeah, see, so I wasn't too far off. I said about two to 3,000.
Yep.
So only
That was
because
close.
they think if they think 17, let's just round it off at 2,000. They're going to try to sell it for 4,000. Because somebody will walk in and say, "Hey, you got a Honda for $4,000?" Well, yeah, you got this one here, and the people are going to take the chance that it's going to keep on going. I think the best thing you can do is retail it, put it on Craigslist or AutoTrader or Cars.com, and I think you'll get $49.95 for it.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks,
Thanks,
appreciate
guys.
it. Thanks for calling.
That leads us. That could lead us into this little comment that we got from somebody. We buy a lot of cars, to sell the amount of cars that we sell.
Yeah, where do we get our cars?
Yeah, where do we get our cars? They just don't appear. Ivan does a great job of sending the buyers out. We have buyers that go in every direction, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, down south, east, west, south, and everything else. But sometimes we buy cars from people off of Craigslist, AutoTrader, Cars.com. And here was a customer that we actually were trying to buy a car off of Craigslist. And he said, "This is to tell everyone."
You left a review. You left a Google review, I think.
Yeah, yes. He says that this is to tell everyone, if Frontier Motors calls you about your vehicle, they mean what they say, and they say what they mean. Frontier Motors bought my father's car. His father was getting ill for $6,200. I had so many people interested and too many people scamming and spamming, so I was very skeptical when they called. They were very polite. I was almost rude. That's the customer saying this. He was almost rude. "Sorry, Frontier Motors. I truly doubted them at first. I was wrong." And what we're saying out there is the reason we bring this radio program and TV program to everyone out there is that we want to tell you that there's somebody different on the block. There's somebody different in the used car business that will actually help you sell or buy your car. And every one of the people that call, Lee, Skip, everybody that called today, we're happy to help them. If they're going to sell their car, they're going to trade their car in, and maybe some dealer in Mobile or Fort Walton, we will help you. And all of our salespeople are there. At 436-8080, the number going across the screen on TV. Call one of the salesmen. Challenge them. It's absolutely free. It's real easy. And you can get values from new cars to used cars, just like we're doing here on the air and we're doing on the radio today.
I think sometimes people try to retail their car themselves, and I've talked to many people this week, Ron, that have their car for sale. And I said, "Well, why didn't you trade it in?" Because the dealer was so ridiculous with the appraisal. And the prime example is we just talking about the Honda at $1,700. I thought it was worth quite a bit more than that. And you'll be surprised that we look at it differently when we buy a car from a private individual. I don't look at so much what they're going for the auction. I look at what can I sell it for? Can I still make a profit on it? But I might not make as much once I give you more than wholesale, because you don't want to take wholesale. That's what car dealerships are offering. So I look at it somewhere in the middle. It's got to be a win situation for everybody. It's got to be a win situation for you where you not feel that you're giving the vehicle away. It's got to be a win situation for us that we can still make a profit, but it also has to be a win situation for a customer that we're trying to sell the car to, that is still the best deal around. It's got to be a win for everybody, and we're very successful making we've got a couple of brokers out in the field that might call you if you put your car for sale, and they'll say, "Hey, we don't work for Frontier Motors, but we represent Frontier Motors," and they're looking for a car like that. And what they do is they email me your information. Let's say you've got on Craigslist hypothetically, and I'll do a quick appraisal like we're doing on the show here, and I'll say, "Okay, I can go this much money. I can go $3,000 on the Honda Civic, less reconditioning." And then the people say, well, a lot of times they'll say, "Yeah, right." Because yesterday, Ron, I did 25 appraisals. 5 of them were at full list. I told my buyer, I says, the people have the car priced below the market value for a quick sale. Tell them I'll write a check. And they still wouldn't believe us because it was outside the area. They're listening. Now that we're on FM, we go way outside where some people don't know who Frontier Motors is. We've been on Talk Radio AM for going 16 years. So all the AM people in Pensacola, they know Frontier Motors. But some of these people in Crestview and Mississippi and Mobile, they don't know us from Adam. So they're like very skeptical that a dealership actually said we're going to write a check. And they think we're lying to them. And the only way that we would revise that price is if the vehicle wasn't as described. If you say it's a 10 out of 10, it doesn't need nothing, and it comes in, it's got a cracked windshield, one of the mirrors is missing, and you got bald tires, well, we're going to deduct for that. But you know what, Ron? That doesn't happen that often. Most people are pretty honest with their assessment of what the car's like.
That means we buy cars and we sell cars. So if you're out there, you want to sell your car to a dealership, make it easy, fun, fast, we can do that. I had a gentleman come in, owns a business here in Pensacola. It took him all of 7 minutes to sell me a vehicle. After I looked at it, don't get me wrong, it took me 7 minutes to do the paperwork. He said, the smoothest contract and sale I've done in 10 years of anything, he said. I think we got another call, Don.
This is Kevin. He's calling from Perdido Key.
Hey, Kevin, how can we help you?
I'm looking to trade in or sell my 2006 F-150 Harley-Davidson edition truck.
All right. We like those. We've done pretty well. The market's still there with them. As the economy got hurt a little bit, some of those fun toys like those went down a bit, but they've been doing pretty well. How many miles are on yours, Kevin?
It's got 38,000.
That's
Hey,
nice.
Kevin, I think I praised that car this morning. I'm sure it's your car because there's not too many 06 Harley Davidsons. I saw that's the extended cab, four-wheel drive. Is that correct?
That's the, I don't know what Ford calls it. It's the half door.
Yeah, it's an extended cab, half door, and it's a 4x4. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and weren't you asking if I remember right, you were asking 22 for it. I think I appraised it through my broker. I think I told him, I can't remember if it was 18 or if it was 18.5, which was somewhere in the middle. When I looked up the wholesale value this morning, they were going at the auction. They did have some of them. There's not a lot of them around, obviously, because it's a very specialized vehicle. So it's not the easiest vehicle to appraise. I did, by coincidence, happen to buy one earlier this week. I think, what did we buy around a 2010 model?
2010, right.
Yeah, crew cab this morning. But I think I appraised it for 18,000, and I think you're a little high because you're asking 22, and I thought that it would go more for in the 20,000 range, maybe 20,500.
Okay.
So I think you're a little high, but you're not. Based on the NADA book, you're not high. If you look at the books on the internet, like the Kelly, I don't think you're high. But I think based on what I can buy that vehicle for wholesale, I think you're a little bit high. The other thing that I don't talk enough about is that, let's say you get tired of trying to get 22 for it. I can sometimes work a consignment. The way the consignment works, if I'm thinking it's worth 18 wholesale, I might go 19.5 on consignment, or maybe even 20,000, which means that I would sell it for you. Now, of course, a lot of people don't like to do that because they're not in control. You have to drop it off at the dealership, but that's one way to get more money for it. And I think that even at 20,000, I could still make a little bit if I got lucky. But I would be willing to buy the vehicle outright for 18. And I'm not sure. Would you sell it for 18?
I'd have to think about it. It's possible, yes, sir.
Yeah, and then normally when I give my buyers will give you a bid, and they don't try to push it. The bid is usually good for 7 days. I'm really glad you called because this is a good way to tell the people out there listening that when I make a bid on a vehicle, that bid would be good for 7 days. Now that doesn't mean I wouldn't buy it after 7 days. The only reason I say that is, let's say I took two Harley Davidsons truck in trade this week, I might be a little bit more skeptical to getting a third one. So I try to put some type of a bracket on that. But even if you don't decide in 7 days, give me a call at the dealership, and I'll still give you that price as long as I don't have another one like it. I can't imagine the market changing that much on that truck. It's such a beautiful truck.
Okay. Yeah, because I tried to trade it in at a Ford dealer, and
isn't that weird? What would they appraise it for?
They said they would give me 13.
Wow.
What the heck is that?
That
This
is
is exactly
sick.
what I'm talking about. With a 38,000 mile truck, that is absolutely crazy. And I don't understand where they're coming up with a figure like that. And I can see them trying to hit you over the head and try it at 13. But you think they'd wake up and maybe go to 15 or 16 or 17 or 18 by the time you're ready to hit the road. And I guess they didn't do that. So there's a prime example of what I'm talking about where that's obnoxious.
Okay, great.
Well, Kevin, thank you for calling.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks.
All right, thanks, time. And you'll find it's much easier.
$13,000. That truck.
That's crazy.
The truck's worth about $20,000 retail. So at $13,000, if he would have gave it up for that, they would be making $7,000.
You know what the ironic thing is? He's at a Ford dealership.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, we got another call.
We do. This is Jack from Pensacola.
Hey, Jack, how can we help you?
Yes, sir. Imagine this. I've got a car question for you.
All right, sounds. We like him.
Now, I've got two vehicles that are paid for that I'm wanting to move into say a four-door pickup truck,
Gotcha.
and I have two vehicles to trade. One of them is an 06 Jeep Wrangler. Hardtop. It's got 82,000 miles on it with about 4-month-old mud tires on it. So it's in really good shape. It's clean.
Is it the Sport or Sahara?
It's the X.
That's the X, okay. With the 6-cylinder automatic or 5-speed?
It's a 6-speed manual.
6-speed,
with a
okay.
With a 4-liter 6-cylinder.
Excellent, okay.
Hardtop, AC, cruise,
All that kind of stuff. Good, all right.
player. Other than that, it's just a Jeep.
And you said 60,000 miles?
82.
82,000. All right, Ivan's working on that one. Let's let him get to this number here.
Let's go.
Okay, ask him some questions.
Alloy wheels, automatic transmission. You said no.
No, 6-speed.
No, it's a manual. It's got
X.
steel wheels.
Hardtop.
Yep.
It does have a hard top,
Okay.
and I have a soft top to go with it also.
Excellent.
And the air conditioning works.
Oh, yes. Everything on the Jeep works.
All right. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple different values. I'm going to repeat what this is to make sure I got it right. It's an 06 Wrangler X model. It's a four-wheel drive with 82,000 miles on it. It's pretty much of a base vehicle, but it does have the hard top and manual transmission. And I'm coming up with a loan value of $11,500, which is supposed to be wholesale. And I'm going to check, and I should probably check the black book because that might be a hair low. I know Jeeps are selling pretty good
If
right
you're
now.
using the NADA, you're probably on the money. What was the other one while he's looking that up, Jack?
I have an '05 Chrysler Crossfire Roadster.
Okay.
And it's got 28,000 miles on it. Original tires, and they're still good. It's a garage queen. It's the convertible.
Gotcha. It is a convertible. Crossfire convertible with 28,000 miles. Yeah, we need to loan the value on that one, and then we'll know how much money he's basically got to work with, right? Isn't that what you're trying to figure out?
Right.
Gotcha.
Right. There's titles on both vehicles, and I'm looking to get into. I'm looking for a 4-door pickup.
Excellent.
And so that's what I'm looking to.
Well, you know what's really nice,
leverage
Jack, is
with.
we were talking about trade-ins. And now here is an opportunity for any dealership, including Frontier Motors, to say they got a 3-car deal. Because if you buy a truck from me, you trade 2 nice used cars in. Now I have an opportunity to sell 3. You know what's really strange, Jack, and everybody out there listening, that could turn into a 6-car deal because I could sell those cars and take trade-ins on those cars. So we look forward to any used car, and we look forward to any trade-in. What do you got, Ivan?
Well, the Jeep, I think the NAD was a little bit low. I think the Jeep's going to be a wholesale value. Somewhere between 12 and 12.5.
Okay, good. I'm glad you
Which
checked.
is a little bit higher than normal.
All right.
The Crossfire is a little bit more of a sticky one. Is it a limited or is it a limited?
No, it's a base
It's a base,
6-speed
okay.
manual
Convertible.
convertible. Only option it really has is convertible top.
Okay.
It does have air and cruise, of course, all that.
Okay. And
Is
tell
it
me-
standard or
it's a
automatic also?
It's a 6-speed manual as well.
And tell me the miles on that one again.
28.
28,000.
Wow. That one's got low miles.
He says it's a garage queen.
What color is
Yeah,
it?
it's a garage queen. It's black.
All right.
They're either black or silver, aren't they?
The base models and the Roadsters, they were only black.
Yeah.
Black interior, black exterior.
Oh, okay.
See?
Got a higher book than I thought. God, I better double check this. But I guess maybe it's because of the
The
miles.
Jeep's probably worth more.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
it's
I'm looking
embarrassing.
at, I'm looking at Black Book right now, and the Black Wholesale Guidebook says it's got a wholesale value of around $9,500, which I didn't think would be that high, but I guess the miles, you've got such low miles on it, maybe the miles is creeping
You
it up.
should have been there when I bought it new. That's really embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, I remember when they came out and they were selling for over list price because they were the hottest thing on the market. And then once the fanfare, kind of let off of it, now they're quite a bit less expensive. And matter of fact,
Yeah, it's a shame it's a Mercedes, but it sells as a Chrysler.
Hey,
Yeah, you're right.
You can't,
You're
you can't
absolutely
win that way.
Hey, Jack, Ivan and I were in the new car business, and then we'd go around Pensacola and we'd say hi to everybody, and they never said hi back to us. Now we're in the used car business for 17 years. They love us. Everywhere we go, hey, how you doing,
because
Ivan? How you
lose
doing,
so much
Ron?
money, so you hate the salesman. That's what you're doing. It looks like both the books are telling me the wholesale value is around $9,500. Retail's pretty good on it. It's got a good retail book of $13,000. The stick shift's a little bit harder selling point. I know that it's a sports car, but you would think that. You would
Right,
think that
but when
you get
people
more-
think Chrysler, they don't think manual transmission.
Yeah, you're right. But it looks like the two of them together, you're looking at around $22,000. You can get a real nice truck. The advantage of trading, even though it might not be as much as you would like to get, the advantage is if I had a nice truck that I could sell you for $22,000, maybe it's a $25,000 truck that I could sell you for $22,000, is that you wouldn't have to pay any taxes. So that's sometimes a good selling point as far as why should you trade. Because if you went out and sold your vehicles yourself, you could get maybe $1,000 or $1,500 more for your vehicles if you
Right.
sold them yourself, but you're going to pay $1,500 more in taxes. So if we had a truck that would work for you, that would be the best thing. But we would be interested in both those vehicles. So it'd be our dealership at Frontier Motors would be a good starting point for you to bring him in.
Well, my fiance, she just bought a car from you guys probably about
awesome.
4 or 5 months ago.
Great,
And,
great.
Great. Did she have a good experience?
Yeah, it worked out well. She had it for like 3 days. The check engine light came on, and I said, "Well, take it back," and she did. And you guys made it right. It was a cam sensor.
Well,
You
that's
guys
great.
straightened it out. So,
Good. Okay.
it's been a pretty good car for her so far.
All right. Well, thanks for calling the show, Jack, and hopefully we'll get you to come in and let us see those vehicles.
All right, we got about 5
Thanks, I
minutes.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We got about 5 minutes. We're going to take one quick call and then go from there. How can we help you?
Ben from Pensacola.
Ben, how can we help you? Are you there, Ben? Hello? Hello, Ben? Hello, Ben?
Yeah, hold on, Bill.
Wait. See, live TV, live radio. You can't beat it.
Oh, okay.
Now we got him.
I got it.
Now you got him? Ben, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
What can we help you with? Oh, no, he lost it. Well, we only got about 5 minutes to go. Ben,
Yes.
we apologize for that. If you can call us at the dealership, it's 436-8080, 436-8080. We got about 4 or 5 minutes left, and we got things to talk about. Number one, we are a used car lot. We really didn't talk about that. We carry about 300 used cars. We're a little bit short. We talked about buying cars. We do that. Financing is excellent right now. I noticed that Panera lowered their rates again. Harvester's been very, very competitive. The credit unions are being very competitive. competitive rates. We have Wells Fargo Dealer Services in-house, which is second to none in town. Hancock Bank, Fidelity National Bank. We have all those at Frontier Motors. So don't feel you got to. Sometimes people think they got to go to a franchise dealer to find good financing. You don't have to do that. At the beginning of 17 years, they didn't want to do business with us. Now it's 17 years and selling 200 cars a month. They all want to do business with us, and we hope you do too. Everything else going good. We're a little shy on cars. If I was going to say anything on this TV show and broadcast on the radio, I'd say we need some cars. So if you're out there and you got a second car or a third car, or maybe you just got a company vehicle and that car's still sitting in the yard, bring it by Frontier Motors. See Ivan, myself, or our sales managers, Bruce or Keisha. We'll be glad to sit down and within 5 to 10 minutes give you an idea what that car's worth so you can make a good decision.
We're probably appraising somewhere between 5 and 10 cars from private individuals. We're appraising a lot more cars than that because other dealers call us also, and we're really, it's a feather in our cap that a lot of the car dealerships call us for appraisals, because if they're a special type car dealership, for example, if you're a Lexus dealership and you're taking in an F-150 pickup truck, they don't have too much places to go. So what do? They call Frontier Motors, and a lot of the car dealerships have been calling us, and that's why when the other gentleman called on the Harley truck, I knew exactly what truck it was, because I've already appraised it. So if we really want to spend some time talking about the fact that not only do we sell cars, and we make it so easy for you when you come in, our cars are unlocked, we'll give you one price, we'll tell you what the taxes are out the door, and we'll tell you every car that's available within 150 miles, so you know that we've got the best deal. But the other thing we can do is help you with the value of your car. If you're going to buy a brand new car and you're going to go to a new car dealership, I can tell you what the new car costs. I've got the new car cost guides, and then what I can do is tell you what they should be appraising your car for. If they don't appraise it for that, why not just sell it right to us?
Yes, we're a used car lot, but you'd be surprised what we can find. I had a friend call me up and said, I want to buy a 2013 Land Rover, nothing but a 2013. Pulled up on the, just like Ivan has in front of the computer, 2013 Land Rover. So there's nothing probably we can't get. Sometimes there's a little tougher ones, but we even have a GTR. We have a 2000, what year is that?
The 2013 Nissan GTR. You talk about a specialty car. This is a supercar race car. It's $110,000 brand new. And this is a 2013 model. It's about 5 months old, and we've got it on the internet for $91,000. Now, again, that's an expensive car, but I'm just getting at the guy that bought it for $110,000 because they don't deal on this car. It's
Right.
$110,000 you buy brand new. He just lost almost $20,000 in 5 months.
Crazy.
And we took advantage of that, and we're going to be able to sell it, make a profit on it, and still save somebody $20,000 over a new one.
So we got some 2013s in stock. We got 2012s, 2011 and 10. Those are kind of where we try to stay within that 4 or 5 year period that it's easy for financing, easy for payments, and you got nice low miles. But a lot of cars in stock, a lot of good salespeople. Each one of them carry a price sheet, so there's no secrets. You know, I heard these secrets here. We don't have secrets. You don't need secrets in a car lot. Look, my goodness, the internet don't let you not have any secrets anymore, but it's easy for you. And if you want to shop at your leisure and you don't like people bothering you, we even give you a sheet to walk around and shop on your own if you want to do that. But Frontier Motors, 230 Beverly Parkway, or at FrontierMotorsINC.com, FrontierMotorsINC.com.
We still got time.
Yeah, we got about a minute or so left.
We should really talk about our consignment program.
You mean
also.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. What do we want to talk about?
We do consignments. We run free history reports for anybody out there. If you need a free history report, call Frontier Motors at 436-8080.
Remember, everybody drives a used car.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Auf Wiedersehen.
Motors is down the street. Got the best deals that can't be beat. Don't overpay. Come in today. Doing business the old-fashioned way. Frontier. We got the right price. Frontier. We'll treat you mighty nice. Frontier Motors. Low overhead.